Here comes this nigga here. Oh man.
Yo,
what's up?
What up? Let's roll, baby.
Hell yeah. How you feeling?
I'm good. How y'all?
Man,
Great.
good, man. I guess just kick things off, man. We just we're real grateful to have you on again, and we just wanted to say, thanks, and thanks for giving us the first run the first time, and in the midst of everything that's going on, for you taking your time out with us. Like, we really appreciate that. So I just wanted to start with that.
All good.
This is something I was thinking of. We had this discussion, and I was like, okay, if today, if it was up to you and you had to pick 4 comics, I think we're gonna go with 4 comics to redo Kings of Comedy today.
Kings of Comedy 2.
Yeah, do a Kings of Comedy 2. Who would be your 4 comics? It could even include you. But who would you pick to just kill the show? Like, what would be your lineup?
Oh man. Dave Chappelle, Tommy Davidson.
Wow.
God, I wish she was still alive, because I would say Patrice O'Neal.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, easy. But we need 4. We need 4 living.
And myself. But I would say myself, Dave Chappelle, Tommy Davidson. I would have said,
Holcomb.
Corey Holcomb.
Hey man.
I didn't see that though. When you put those together like that, I was like, only if he would have said Holcomb.
But for obvious reasons, that can't happen.
Right.
So I'm just trying to think of another juggernaut. I mean, I could say Chris Rock, but I'm going off of my personal taste in terms of who I like. And I've always said, man, Chris Rock is brilliant. I know, I get the genius.
I always thought he was too. And he's always kind of caught flack because he doesn't do the same typical kind of black comedy that you.
Well, what I was gonna say was I recognize Chris Rock's brilliance, but he doesn't make me laugh. That's not to say that I don't think he's funny.
Right.
Because he's clearly funny. He's a genius. But you know how some people, like, you could recognize somebody's greatness, but they personally aren't your cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think
it's winning comics.
That's how I feel about Dane Cook.
Right. Like I prefer Tony Rock really over Chris.
Oh yeah.
In terms of what makes me laugh. But if you have to go off of sheer brilliance and being a juggernaut, definitely Chris Rock.
So Chris Rock would be like, he would host your lineup. He'd be like the Steve Harvey of your show if you was directing part 2.
It's hard to say, man, what the order would be. You know what I mean? It's hard to say what that order would be.
Yeah, it could change any given night, because Tommy could just do crazy flip out, half Spanish, half English, everything, man.
Yeah, Tommy's a monster, man. I don't think Tommy gets enough praise for his comedic ability and his energy.
Yeah, to the roof.
Yeah, I once asked the question, and like I posted a picture one time with me and Dave. Dave lives in Ohio, and I remember I was performing. I think it was I want to say Dayton, and Chris from Kid and Play, Chris Reed, he came through. Dave came through. We kind of hung out, drank, smoked, and I took a picture with Dave. And I posted the picture and was like, man, if Patrice was still alive and me, Patrice, and Dave did a show, who would middle, who would open it, who would close?
Ooh.
Yeah.
That'd be
a lot of people said Dave would definitely close. And then people flipped between me opening and Patrice opening.
It could go either way.
It could go either way, though.
Because even when I thought of this question and I brought it to them, I was thinking, okay, my lineup, it would have been Dave Chappelle, of course, Bill Burr. I like Sebastian Maniscalco. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. And then my toss-up was kind of you and Corey Holcomb. I would go with you, but then if I couldn't get you for whatever reason, if you was on some Hollywood shit or something, Corey could open.
Hollywood shit, nigga, you got me twice here.
I'm just trying to think of a scenario, like, you know, whatever reason, like people, you know, I'll just fucking with you though. But yeah, that's how that would be my 4. It'd be you.
And see, I didn't know
Sebastian.
that we could. I didn't know that we could include a Larry Bird. When you said Kings of Comedy, I was thinking you was keeping it chocolate. You know what I'm saying? But if you could add in any color, well, then I have to take Chris Rock out and put in Bill Burr.
No.
Didn't I say that? Didn't I say that?
Man, hey man, people be front, man. Bill Burr is the truth.
Bill Burr is a beast, man. He's a beast.
Yeah, man, that's dope.
Speaking of like the roots of hip hop and comedy,
right?
What was the first, I say, comedy like comedian that caught you? And can you remember the first joke he told?
The first comedian that got me?
Yeah.
I mean, I was born in 75. I'm an 80s baby. So, you know, Eddie Murphy, Delirious. You know, that whole, you know, doing James Brown, Michael Jackson, Mr. T, Elvis. That was just mind blowing, you know. And again, the thing that makes Eddie so phenomenal is there are some comics who do impressions and do impressions well, but the joke ain't strong, or vice versa. They got a strong joke, but the impression is
Right.
When you can do like Eddie Murphy and marry the two, where your impression is 100%, and then the joke, the substance is 100%. Now you got pure Bolivian, uncut, unstepped on yayo.
Right.
Right.
Wow, that's good. I seen one interview that you did where you spoke really kind of breathed new life into that whole scenario about Black comedians, Black actors wearing the dress.
Yeah.
And so that made me think of something to the point, because you do a lot of impressions and everything. Do you ever run into problems, you know, doing these different impressions of the people that you do them of? Because I noticed, like on Mad TV, you were able to play DMX's mom, and you always did a great DMX. So, like, what was his impression of, you know, you doing him, and then, you know, how was he to work with on that skit?
Well, he was great to work with on the skit. I remember at first, he didn't, and I think this was before he read the script, he didn't really feel comfortable talking about his mother. So at first he didn't want to do that. But then once he read the script and saw what it was and understood it, he was all for it. And I remember it was funny because, you know, rappers are infamous for showing up late. And of course, this is DMX, the most streetiest street nigga of the street niggas.
Right.
So he makes sure he puts every stereotype front and center. So we all sitting around waiting on him, and he's late. And then all of a sudden, you know, like 5 SUVs, black SUVs show up. Everybody get out the car smoking. And, you know, of course, all the black people that worked on the lot, actors and non-actors included, we all excited to see him. So we all standing around in a circle, you know, just hanging out because we know he's coming any minute. And then finally he pulls up and he gets out. He's like, yo, dog, you want to smoke? Nigga, you want to smoke? And he's offering everybody the blunt. And we're like, nah, nigga, we're working.
Man.
Yeah, you know, plus it's illegal, you know.
Man.
He didn't give a fuck, and we was like, nah, we good, but thanks, homie. He was like, fuck it then, nigga. More for me. And he just started, you know, smoking. But it was cool, man. He was real cool about it. But I remember back when, it was a long while ago, when I had my CD out, my comedy CD, I Ain't Scared. And it was a double compilation where I was doing stand-up on one disc and prank phone calls on the other. So I had a couple of phone calls doing him. And I remember around this time, Method Man and Redman were guests on Mad TV. So, you know, and I've always been kind of cool with Meth and Red too, but more Meth. And then Red was like, yo, man, we going to the Jay-Z concert tonight at the Staples Center. You wanna fall through? I was like, hell yeah. So first I met up with Redman at his hotel in Beverly Hills We chopped it up about some shit. And then I went with him to the concert. So I'm backstage, and I mean, motherfucking Busta Rhymes is there, Snoop is there, a lot of rappers. And I saw X, and I had my joint with me. It just came out. So I was like, hey, X, I got Busta Rhymes, Snoop, everybody holding up my joint, telling people cop it. I'm wondering if you could kind of give me like a promo and do the same thing. He said, yeah, dog, follow me. So I followed him into the locker room, which felt like a mistake shortly as soon as I got in there, because there's only one entrance in and one entrance out. So he comes in followed by like 20 of his niggas, and they all make a circle around me and X. And me and X is in the middle. And then the bodyguard comes in and he slams the door shut and stands in front of the door, arms crossed. And I'm like, oh shit, what's up? And he's like, yo, dog, I heard some things. You know what I mean? My voice, you saying some shit, what's up? And so he didn't know really if I was fucking with him in a bad light. And that didn't bother me. But what freaked me out was, as he was talking, at one point, he kept moving his mouth around, his tongue around, and I saw something shiny in his mouth.
$1.50.
And so finally, he pulls out the straight razor blade.
Shit.
Now, the first time I saw that was in that movie, I forget what it's called, the basketball movie.
I thought it was, Above the Rim.
Yeah.
That was the scariest shit conceptually to me, because I'm going, what nigga talent do you have to be able to talk with a razor blade in your mouth and not cut yourself? And this really let me know how black I'm not. Like, I'm black. I'm authentically black. But I'm not nigga black. Like I'm a Huxtable. DMX is good times. So that nigga pulled that shit out, and I said, oh shit. So I was like, yo, X, man, I'm telling you, man, it's all flattery. You know, it's no disrespect. I just do a couple of prank calls while I'm pretending to be you, but can you endorse it? He was like, I tell you what, nigga, come by my hotel tomorrow. Let me hear it. If it's good, yeah. If it's not, that nigga straight growl, nigga. And I just was like, okay. And so I told him I was gonna come back. I never did. And that was that.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Man.
Man.
That's funny.
Dude, I can only imagine the stories as far as just with hip
I
hop.
couldn't imagine even trying to go back. I
always wanted to ask you, I always wanted to ask you, do you rap, or did you ever try to rap or do anything like that? Because
I respect the art form too much to ever call myself a genuine rapper. I can rap, but the level of, I gotta have some liquor, I gotta smoke some weed, I gotta get in the matrix. Whereas the real rappers, they do that shit like it's breathing.
Right.
I gotta concentrate. I crumple up a lot of paper and throw it out and start over. It might take me a week to come up with a decent 16.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? But that's not my natural gift. What I can do with comedy is what rappers do with rap. But I can say some shit now. I there's this one joint. If you go to YouTube, I think it's type in Aries Spears, Jay-Z, Cameron, where I'm doing a double verse, where I go back and forth between spitting like Hove and X.
Right.
And then
I see you do that on stage, yeah.
Yeah, and then towards the very end, but this is much more complex. But towards the very end, the beat drops out, and I just finish Hove a cappella. And when you listen to the lyrics, I'm proud of it.
Yeah, because they're original lyrics, right?
Yes.
Even though you're doing the impression, like you're rapping like Hove or DMX, like you usually go, it's all original, shit.
Yeah, I mean, and that's that to me was always the thing, and this might be me being a little braggadocious, but that was always the thing about, yes, Jay Farrow can sound like Jay-Z, and Affion Crockett can sound like Jay-Z and Lil Weezy, but it's one thing to sound like them. It's another thing to actually write lyrics where you go, yo, that sound like some shit they wrote. That sound like they would say. That's a whole nother level.
Right.
Oh no, that's real. This was we kind of talking about hip hop and a little bit of history. Recently, we had DJ Academics. I guess he's
LL.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
LL's in your top 5 after that, or you just
Say that again.
I said, does that mean I put LL in your top 5 after seeing that, or
yeah,
LL still that cornball?
Here's my thing. And when I first saw the clip, LL was like, I ain't gonna say no names, man. And then later on, I found out who he was talking about.
right.
Listen, just from the longevity factor, LL has been around from the Kango to the Fitted. You know what I mean? He's decades.
Right.
So from a longevity standpoint, you gotta put him in the top 10. I don't put him in the top 5, but he's in the top 10 because I think lyrically, while LL has always been strong, if I'm being honest, does he really fuck with Jada, Eminem, Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas? Lyrically, nah.
I think so.
And it's a subjective opinion.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
Man,
it's
listen to
very
the GOAT album.
subjective.
The GOAT album, he be doing, and Phenomenon album. I think he was really spitting, but you have to listen to the whole album too.
yeah, I couldn't get past on the Phenomenon.
Hey, I gotta listen to his new shit.
I on Phenomenon, I couldn't get past the neon glowy skin.
Oh, that baby girl was draped in Chanel, said she loved
Yeah.
rock, but hates some male. That was too much for you.
No, not the lyrics, but I think the
video.
cover.
Yeah, in the cover.
Yeah, he was like shiny neon, and
But everybody was doing that thing, kind of like the whole shiny suit. Even I think even the Wu-Tang back then had the little FUBU gloss fits on. Those shiny FUBU fits.
LL's always been about half rapper, half stripper.
Model.
Yeah.
Right.
But to be honest with you, dude, I don't think he gets enough credit, man. Cannabis was one of the illest lyricists in rap, and I know he ate LL up. And I heard LL's comeback, which wasn't. It was cool.
You saying? Hold on.
Ripper Strikes Back. The Ripper Strikes Back.
The Ripper
Strikes back. He trying to nod. That's what he trying to do. He trying to nod. Okay.
Every time we talk on some hip hop shit, this nigga Aries come in and try to start some shit.
You think the Rapper Strikes Back was better than Cannabis?
Second round knockout.
Tell me one line on Second Round Knockout that was better than LL responded with, "Ask Cannabis, he ain't understanding this because 99% of his fans don't exist."
That was the only bar.
Dude,
that was the only bar.
That was all he needed.
That was the only bar. Dude, I ripped the tap from your arm. What did he say? I ripped the tap from your arm, caught a Vanguard Award.
I ripped the tap from your arm, kick you in the groin, sick you for your Vanguard Award in front of your mom, your first, second, and third born, make your wife get
on the horn, call Farrakhan. What?
But then when the niggas follows with that one punch knockout,
nah, son.
I'm sorry. Battling works kind of like boxing to me. A motherfucker be taking an ass whooping the whole damn fight, but then boom, you catch one coming off that rope.
But I don't know that was a knockout punch.
That was
it wobbled his knees.
That was a wicked.
But that wasn't a knockout punch.
Because what did Cannabis say? He said 99% of your fans wear high heels.
Yes.
So to come back and tell this young dude 99% of your fans don't even exist.
Checkmate. Checkmate. But that don't win the game. One punch don't win the game.
You about to make me recite that whole damn song, man.
Dude. A hardcore artist is something is soft saying on or off land. Come on, man. Come on, man.
But LL's like, yeah, you're hardcore in the sense of hella hunter.
But that's definitely not with the lyrics that Drop Thunder, man. Tripping. LL surprised me with the Ripper Strike Back. And
I don't know.
That's crazy.
No.
That's crazy.
I like them both. They're really good battles, and I think like battle raps, like there should have been like another one, like someone should have responded again, like. But
that shit hold on. That shit was the worst verse I ever heard in my life because the greatest of all time died on March 9th. Come on, man. Come on, man.
And it all stems from the Phenomenon 4321 track. So his verse on that, it all stems from that. So LL's verse on that was not that great to even ask for a response.
Yeah, he should have left that shit alone.
It was let me ask you this. After Ether, when Jay-Z came back with, you know, me and your boy got more in common than just rapping in something, get it? More in common. Did you think that Jay-Z beat Nas after Ether with that song?
I did.
You do?
Really?
I did.
I don't know. I thought it was still, I don't know, that Ether was raw.
See, but it was a lot of stuff was made up on Ether. What Jay-Z did was talking natural facts. He talked about having sex with Nas's wife back then. He talked about everything about Nas, how terrible his money situation was. Like, he talked about everything on that song. He thrashed that man.
You know, I know that being a battle rapper is very different from being a rapper that knows how to make hits to play on the radio.
Right.
I would love to see, and I'm sure it would never happen for certain reasons, but I would love to see Jay-Z take on a Murder Mook or a Loaded Lux.
It's two different. That's what I was about to get to. But it's two different things. Like when you have like a Jay-Z LL Cannabis, that's more on wax, and I think that arena is a little different than the battle rap arena. It's two different formats and everything.
Right.
But hold on. But he was a battle rapper at first, right?
But even now, battle rapping has evolved kind of into something else. Because you see what happened when
now battle rap is themes. Like these people are battle rapping and talking about gambling and throwing all FanDuel, like throwing battle rapping, talking about anime and throwing in all kinds of references of the anime and dissing you at the same time. Like battle rap has evolved to all kinds of shit now.
I'm surprised.
I'm sorry. You don't think Hov could do that?
I mean, they could, but it's so different. That's
I feel
what I'm saying.
Hov is like Batman. You see what happened. You see what happened when Cassidy came in.
That's what I'm saying. If Cassidy can do it,
but you see how, but he had to adapt.
But Cassidy is such a battle rapper, though.
Right. Even his songs sound like battle raps.
But he still had to adapt. He wasn't just accepted off the rip like his first two battles. Even he still had to adapt to that arena. That's what you would have to, and I think that's why you don't see a lot of cats get into it, because cats like Cassidy, Joe Budden, Eminem, Jay-Z, lyrically, they would wash any of those cats in that arena. But it's almost not even about that.
Yeah, it's where the punchlines hit.
Yeah, it's such a different thing.
Reaction.
I can give it up. You're right.
I'm surprised some niggas don't come out with theme music like WWE and shit, like the way that they be rapping.
I mean, songs be trash. A lot of the battle rappers, they songs be trash.
Right, because if you ask them to do a record, you'd be like, oh,
right,
cut that shit off.
Like anybody who won the 106 in Park battle rap and they ended up getting the album, it was terrible. Jim, Blind Theory.
Right.
Oh, he's a country star now.
Right.
Oh,
Blind Theory.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's how bad his album did in hip hop. He switched genres.
Speaking of battle rap, I feel like battle rap should be higher than where it's at. I think it should be up there. Like,
battle rap. You know, when you look at battle rap in perspective to the guys that make actual albums, that's like, you know, Street Ball and One versus the pros.
Right.
Perfect. Yep. That's perfect.
Yep.
I'm saying it's just, you know, I recently saw a great documentary. I saw two. The first one I saw, 30 for 30, did a short about And One. And I just recently saw an even better one on Netflix on
the
this
Rise and Fall of And One.
Yeah. But the one I saw for 30 for 30 was like, they had actual NBA niggas speaking on the street one niggas. And he was like, yo, man, Hot Sauce came to a pro game one time. By the time that nigga, we was done with that nigga, we was calling that nigga Ketchup.
Damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the only one
made it to the league, and then he kept getting called for carrying and everything.
But he was the only one.
Yeah,
all them dudes, he was the only one.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. And that's what I was about to say. Like, it's just a different thing. You have to, And it's like that in the NBA. You got to be able to adjust your game to NBA style, or you're not gonna make it.
Right.
That should be greasy on the streets, though. But
right. And now it's all about slam dunk contests. These people be doing some ridiculous slam dunks, but they can't.
Well, I mean, you know, the
they give a
NBA
year contract or something.
Yeah, but the NBA to me has gotten to be too much of a circus with it. Like there was something great in the fact that you had to be creative without being silly. You know, like niggas jumping over cars and shit, coming out of phone booths with Superman capes. Yeah. Now it's turning into some Disney shit for kids. When Jordan and Dominique did it, you know, you really had to be creative because you didn't have all that.
Yeah.
You know what I thought brought it back though was Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine.
Right. Yeah. Even with the theatrics, their dunks were amazing.
Dude, when that motherfucker jumped up and threw it under his ass.
Over somebody. And he jumped over the mascot and went under both his legs. Man. Aaron Gordon's been ripped off like in 2 slam dunk contests. I think there was 2 of them that he should have won.
Yeah, that shit was just unbelievable. I'm just like, man, this nigga ain't even that good on the court most of the time and shit.
And you know, listen, I'm anybody that follow me, my Instagram, and know me and see me in interviews, know I'm a diehard Jordan fanatic. And I've always gone, I'm gonna keep saying Jordan is better than LeBron, but the fact that LeBron never did, we'll get into this in 3 seconds. The fact that LeBron never did a dunk contest to me is a chink in his armor, man. Kobe did it, Jordan did it, Vince Carter did it, Dominique.
And then doing warm-ups, the way LeBron be dunking and doing all this stuff doing warm-ups,
he do be doing some nice shit in the warm-up.
Slam dunk contest. I don't know why he never did.
He never explained that shit?
No. Now here we go. Why is LeBron better than? I can tell you the anti-Aries. I see it now. Because between Nas and cannabis and now this shit, what makes you think LeBron's better than Jordan?
Dude, it's just the overall the basketball. Yeah, the basketball IQ. I get the 6 rings, not really, because I think rings are more of a team accolade. You're not doing those by yourself. But
you're not doing anything by yourself, really.
Exactly. So when it comes down just to overall basketball,
rings matter.
Partly, but you can't just be like, oh, he got 6 rings because so did them niggas on the bench. It's an organization.
It is a collective, but to sit here and go rings like a sweep under the rug, no, that matters. That absolutely matters. And not only does it matter, it's the fashion in which he won them. Never saw Game 7. Never lost in the finals.
He was always on the best team.
Huh?
He was always on the best team. We shouldn't have saw a game. He shouldn't have saw a Game 6.
LeBron has played with more All-Stars than Jordan.
Yeah, but everybody gets an All-Star now. That's such a subjective. That's such a subjective point.
No. It's not a subjective point. To my point, yeah, back in Jordan's era, they didn't form the Avengers. They didn't form the Justice League. The best one to compete against the best.
But if they could have, they would have.
But they didn't. And Michael Jordan told you.
They didn't have no pull.
No. Wow. Michael Jordan specifically said, I would never have called Larry Bird to play with him.
It's easy to say now in 2022.
Wow.
What about Michael Jordan's pedigree? What about Michael Jordan's pedigree and defensive prowess would make you believe that he's not telling the truth?
Michael Jordan was so competitive, he didn't want Isaiah on the Olympic team with him.
Because he didn't like Isaiah. But who else was on the damn team with him? Anybody else that was worth a damn?
There was no other Pistons except for Rodman, but he was technically a Bull.
That was not. I don't think Rodman was on the team.
Rodman wasn't on it.
Nah, he wasn't on neither one of those. But yeah, the reason like them niggas though, and that was it.
So let me ask you this, and I want you to answer this honestly, and this is to all of the fellas when you listen to this. Okay. And this is in comparison, Michael's 6-0 versus LeBron's 4-6. What would you rather have? An average dick that works all the time, 6-0, or a big dick that works sometimes, 4-6?
Well, I mean, technically, that's 2 different things, though.
No,
I'm not.
I mean, naturally, you want your shit working all the time.
All right,
but I don't compare.
Knocking it down every time.
Perfect. He's perfect.
But it ain't just him. Like, he has help.
Okay, but that's a moot point. It's a moot point. You need a team.
Exactly.
That's why
when you say they need a team, LeBron, that's been most of the cases, he wasn't even playing on the best team in the finals. And and he got a few years where he wasn't even supposed to make the finals. He made it.
The Heat?
Man, with them last two,
not 5, not 6, not 7.
What about when the Heat lost to the Mavericks, though?
The Mavericks, that team was
And
sick.
not only did he lose to the Mavericks, he got his shit shown up by Jason fucking Terry. And to LeBron's own admission, he said, I froze. When did
Jason, the new Jet Terry
freeze?
I don't know, but if you go back to when Jordan was whining to the papers about getting roughed up by the Pistons.
Oh, because we didn't. You can't rape a nigga coming down the lane.
Man, please, he wasn't getting hit that hard.
Come on,
that dude was crying.
They was taking him out the sky like that.
Yeah, because you can't just come in the lane. And when basketball can you do that?
How about LaFlop?
They all flop.
Bigger, stronger, faster. Here's this massive physical tank. If you blow on him, he falls.
Well, you got to act now.
Both LeBron and James Harden is the reason the rules changed.
So true.
You think so? I think it's more because of James Harden.
Both of them, LeBron and James Harden combined.
Really?
No, I'm sorry, James Harden.
We
We can't put nobody in James Harden's category on flopping. That shit is ridiculous.
James Harden's credibility goes out the window because he always shows up big during the season.
Yeah.
Playoffs, that nigga is a white woman missing in Aruba.
And I try to tell you that, Sid. I was like, man, Harden don't never show up in the damn playoffs. I was like, that's cool. He can have, all the calls during the regular season, but once the playoffs come and the game slows down, it's it. They stopping all that.
Yeah.
And most of the time, he flopping before there don't even be nobody around him. He just be flopping, beard going everywhere. Yeah, I can't watch James Harden. I'd be too frustrated. So yeah, no, we can't put LeBron there. James Harden is like here. They all kind of flop around the same level in the league now.
LeBron James.
And you can put everybody there with LeBron. No, they all flop now. But they're working on the rules. I mean, I like that they kind of changed.
And on top of that, let me just give you, that's one hell of a stat for you to win 3 straight, retire for a year and a half, come back and win another 3 straight.
And come back to the same damn team you won the 3 with?
No, he came back to a stronger team because they added Dennis Rodman.
Right.
Yeah, they added
Dennis Rodman,
because they had Shaq. Yeah, that's right.
Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
If you want me to go on.
Even the 3-piece, yeah, that's right. Even the 3-piece squad was even hard, but they was the best team by far.
Oh, whose fault is that? Goddamn.
I'm just saying, like, when did you watch the Bulls those 6 years and just think like, yeah, they not gonna do it? Like, who was messing with them on that level?
It would have been if Jordan hadn't retired, it would have been interesting to see them play the Rockets.
Right.
Man. Whew. Or if they would have got a chance to defend in 98, 99 against the Spurs.
Yeah.
I think that was inevitable. They would have had to see the Spurs.
No, I don't think the Spurs would have fucked with them.
You don't think they would have got the Spurs in 99?
Fundamentals of the Spurs, nah. Not the way the Bulls was doing their thing.
Jordan even said, we ain't got no answers for a king. So.
Man. Yeah, those are like real two big what ifs.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think I'm more or less disappointed that they didn't get to come back after that 98 win.
When you really stop and think about it, and let's put this in perspective, when the Pistons won against the Bulls the Pistons won 89 and 90. In 1990, that was the Scottie Pippen migraine game.
Right.
The Bulls played the Pistons in Game 7 in Detroit when Pippen had that migraine and was ineffective. If Pippen didn't have that migraine and averaged what he averaged, the Pistons might have been one and done. And the Bulls might have won 90, 91, 92, 93. And when the Bulls retired, or the Jerrys broke up the team in 98, none of the Bulls wanted to be broken up. So if they stayed together for 99, they Bulls might have been looking at 8 championships.
Yeah. But see, it's crazy how people can do the what ifs with Jordan, but y'all don't have the same what ifs with LeBron.
Yes, we do.
Okay,
yes, we do.
Because y'all be bringing up that 3 and 6, like as if 2 of those wasn't against the Warriors. No, the Warriors.
What if Ray Allen didn't hit that 3 to give LeBron his second title in Miami? What if Kyrie Irving didn't hit that shot against Golden State?
Paxson and Kerr didn't hit shots for Jordan.
They did hit shots. But
exactly.
No. They weren't game-winning shots. Defining.
It doesn't matter. You still need the shot.
It does matter. No, here's why it matters. If Ray Allen doesn't hit that shot, the Miami Heat don't win that second championship. If John Paxson didn't hit that 3 against Phoenix for their third title, they could go to a game 7. They would have just went to a game 7 where the Bulls would have had another shot. If Ray Allen doesn't hit that shot, it's
that was game 7, yeah.
You know what I mean? Here's the difference.
Not really. It's still a shot.
Not really?
Because then we're playing like what ifs. Okay, so what if they go to game 7? And
I know, but the chances of the Bulls with Michael Jordan not winning a game 7 when he ended everything in game 6.
Hey man, it can happen. It happened to the best.
And the mentality of how he would have spoke to the team if they had to go to a game 7.
Are you kidding me?
He would have been out there socking them out.
Are you kidding me?
Jordan was in the locker room beating niggas up.
He was the ultimate finisher.
Yeah, I don't know. We just got to agree to disagree. I just think Jordan had a better.
He
had a better coach. He had a better team.
Brother, I gotta be honest with you. You know who you remind me of? You're like a serial killer's parents. That's still your baby. No matter how horrible the atrocity that they have committed, you're gonna stand by your child. You're gonna stand by LeBron, even though he's Jeffrey Dahmer.
Wow. Speaking of Jeffrey Dahmer, anybody watch it on Netflix?
Man, that shit was the business.
I didn't watch it. I was too scared.
Son, you gotta see it.
You gotta check it out.
It's not scary as much as it is creepy.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Y'all remember when that shit happened, like for real? Like when the news first broke on that shit?
I was a kid, man. That was the 80s. I was a kid. So I remember seeing it, but I couldn't put it in perspective. When you watch that shit, you're like, God damn.
And they actually, and the thing that's cool about the series is they're actually blending the two, the reality, so you can see what really happened, like when they was bringing out the bodies and the drums out the house, and then they're doing the reenactment. So they was actually blending them between the stories and real accounts and real audio recordings of witnesses and everything. It's really cool. You should check it out. Like it'll really put all that whole story.
So you saw it?
Yeah.
So the lesson to be learned, brothers, is don't accept drinks from white men.
Right.
Don't go to no white man's house and don't accept nothing to give you to drink.
Hey, that just shows a difference in time, because I don't think that shit would happen now.
Why wouldn't it?
I was thinking
happened.
too. No, let's do this.
It just happened. A dude in Hollywood was raping black gay men. He drugged them. Yeah, look it up. He was drugged.
No, I'm talking about when
why he was doing it. Like why
he killed one.
No, I'm saying
Dahmer had kinks and certain things that he wanted.
Right.
I know he was eating balls and shit. I know that.
Nowadays,
but I'm
people
saying,
know about your kinks nowadays. People be trying to get in on them kinks with you. There's backdoor sites. Like he probably would be like some kind of legend nowadays.
Yeah,
Gerald, did you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, you saw it? Okay.
Yeah, if you fast forward, like if Jeffrey Dahmer was a 80s, 90s baby, oh man, he'd probably be like a Hugh Hefner or something. Like that whole scenario of him killing people probably don't even exist.
What was crazy to me was, especially when they opened up the first episode where he's with the black dude and he put the knife, like threatened him with the knife, the butcher knife. I would think, and I just talked about this on my podcast, when a nigga tells you he gonna eat your heart and it becomes clear he's crazy and wants to kill you, I don't give a fuck. I would think, you know what, you'd say to yourself, I'll take a few stabs and cuts to do what I gotta do to get out of this motherfucker. Because to just sit there and be submissive for that length of time is insane to me.
Yeah, they opened it up with the dude that got away that ended up telling.
Right.
That got him caught. Yeah, that was crazy. That would have really had you on the edge. You got to check that out, Seth. Surprised you ain't. And it's too long. This should have been out. This should have been out 2 weeks. So forget about spoiling it for you. It's been out 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's past.
I've seen one of
The
his
48-hour
like
limit when it
documentary
comes to
movies.
spoilers.
Yeah, you don't see it within 48 hours, and nobody cares.
Yeah, I seen it when the movie where what made him become who he was. I seen that movie, so that made me like, nah, I don't think I want to see it.
That's what I was referring to with the comment initially, is that, you know, when you get into who he was and why they say he did it in his interviews, then you kind of like, dang, that's crazy.
That nigga eating black balls, like he's cutting the balls and like it's a delicacy. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the more you go down the rabbit hole.
Factor stuff.
Yeah.
They had y'all eating on Fear Factor.
The part that makes your heart sink a little bit is episode 7 with Tony.
Oh,
the deaf dude he killed with the hammer.
Man, that's the only episode I fell asleep on. Like, I woke
was
up
he screaming? Oh,
that's funny.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, don't watch it because you finna go to hell. Dama's gonna be waiting for your ass.
Right. Talking about nigga nuts and baby. Oh man, I did want to ask you too. We was talking about your impressions earlier.
Right.
What is the process in being able to I guess master those impressions so well?
You know, it's God given. It's a talent, man. You know, it's like singers. You know, singers have an ear for music, for notes, inflections, tones, the ability to do riffs. It's just something you either have or you don't. And to me, everybody's voice is a note, a tone. You got to listen for the tone. Like when you do a shack is real breathy and bassy. And when you say certain key things like, you know, as long as I get 28 and 10. When I say 28 and 10, that's so Shaq. As long as I get 28 and 10, I'm going to dominate in the paint. That's barbecue chicken, 28 and 10. If you don't get 28 and 10, yeah, job it. You know, so it's that. You know, if I do Tony Soprano, and everything is it ish. When I talk about Janice and Uncle Doom, and everything is a ish. You got to put the emphasis on the fucking words. So, you know, it's just capturing somebody's tone and inflection.
Oh man, that's pretty dope.
Real dope.
Is it something that comes instantly, where you just like, oh man?
Yeah, it's kind of instant. Either you have it or you don't. Most of the times you either have it or you don't. But there are other times when, if you're in the range and you keep finding out till you get that note, you can get it that way. You can learn it for yourself. But most times it's either instantaneous or it doesn't exist.
Who was the hardest one? Like, who took you like the longest to really get down?
Probably Tony Soprano, because I'm such a diehard soprano fan. And I was like, God, he has such a unique sound. I would love to be able to do it. But I never could lock in on what it was until my man, his name escapes me now, this dude who was on America's Got Talent, who I, you know, did a couple of Tony. He does a great Paulie Walnuts, Paulie Gaultieri. And I was hearing him do Tony, and I was practicing him doing Tony. And I finally locked on to what it was. And now I know I do it better than him, because with any impression, the key is you can't hear your own voice. And when he does his Tony, I hear Tony, but I still hear him. Right. And when you lose completely yourself, when nobody can hear your tone, then that's when you got it on lock. So again, you know, I talk about Janice and the kids, you know, the Aries and none of this. You know, it's a total transformation. So that took me a minute, and I wish I could do Obama, man. I mean, you know, impressions is 2 parts. It's cadence and it's voice. I know it's cadence. You know, here in America, what we do. I care for my daughters the way you guys care for your sons. So similar. So I know the cadence, but I just don't have the voice on lock.
Yeah, that was real good. It was real close, man. You're right, but I can still hear your voice a little bit in that one.
Yeah.
I be fucking with my kids trying to talk like Obama sometimes.
Let me hear it.
Nah,
Come on, man. Let me hear it. Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
I'm not following you, man.
Nah, the reason why I'm saying let me hear it is because I can kind of hear a little of how it would be possible for you to do Obama. Like comedian Reggie Reg, when he does Denzel, now before I saw C. King, when he naturally talks Reggie Reg, you could pick up Denzel and his natural talking voice.
Yeah.
But then when he does the impression, he takes it to another level. But then C. King came along and nuclear war headed us all out the fucking building.
Man. Yeah, your Denzel was pretty dope too.
No, it's not. No.
But
no.
Reg is, his shit was different.
Nigga, you know who C. King is?
No.
Look up C. King on Instagram. It's IAM _ CKING. When you see this nigga do Denzel, me, Dean Edwards, Jay Farrow, Reggie Reg, and who else does them? And Godfrey. We don't exist. We don't exist no more. We don't exist no more.
C. King, the dude from Instagram.
That nigga is an atomic bomb.
Yeah.
He does.
He got the mannerisms.
That's all he does is Denzel. He does it so well.
Man.
Yeah. He did something with Kev on stage. They were like, the pastor sounds like Denzel, and then he was doing it, and I was like, damn.
Yeah, he get that blinking and head nodding down. Like,
I think I want to take ownership of this because when everybody else was doing Denzel, they wasn't doing this. I always said part of the key to Denzel is you got to do the stroke mouth. Like Denzel looks like he's had a stroke.
Hold up.
Right. Right, that's what I'm talking about, Jake.
And then the two hand like.
Everybody's talking about.
Right.
He does that mouth. Yeah. So I saw C. King implemented that into his impression. But yeah, man, I'm always about the details, man. The little fucking details.
Yeah, and that's the thing that always made it.
Yeah, I see your impressions. You like embody the whole mannerisms and everything, not just the voice.
Yeah, because I think my two favorite from you was why did I just draw a blank like that? One was Bill Cosby, and then the other one, of course, was he just passed away, Mooney. Those are my two favorite.
Listen,
Mooney is off the chain.
I love me some Godfrey. That's my man. And his Steve Harvey is fucking amazing.
Man.
But I wish that nigga would stop trying.
For some reason, it seems like Godfrey's teeth grows to be like Steve Harvey's when he starts talking. Like, when he does Steve Harvey, it is crazy.
But I wish he would stop doing Paul Mooney. It makes my skin itch.
Really?
It sounds like a rusty Godfrey.
Yeah, there's too much. The voice. And it's just not there, nigga. I am the original goddamn Paul Mooney, nigga. So I know my Paul is, and that's the competitor in me.
Right.
Man.
I did an interview on the Karen Hunter show on Sirius XM. And there was this one lady, I can't remember her name, but she had the most beautiful laugh ever. It was so infectious, so fun. And I remember I said something, and I said, we are talking about the Popeyes chicken sandwich. And I said, that goddamn Popeyes chicken sandwich was tastier than Richard Pryor's son's ass. And then the lady fell out, but then she stopped laughing and she was like, ooh, I didn't know you was gonna go there. And then Karen Hunter goes, oh, I knew it was coming. I just didn't know it was coming the way that it came. And I followed that up by going, neither did Richard's son.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, look at that clip. That lady, Miss Sylvia, she loses her fucking mind.
Oh
man. Look, God damn.
Now you're gonna have his bodyguard on our show. Y'all in the comments.
Man. I'm sensitive, everybody. I don't think sexual abuse, and I don't think anything's funny about it. You know how internet is now. Fuck them.
This was awesome. This was awesome.
Man. Did you get a chance to check out Vlad TV's post that he made on Twitter about video games being linked to depression? And then he said that you think of the top 10 moments in your life, and you won't, you know, none of them will have anything to do with playing video games. But he pretty much said that they were linked to being depressed. People that play video games every day, it's like a sign of depression. What do you think of that?
Oh, I think it sounded ridiculous. Sometimes it's a sign of therapy.
Right.
You know, it could be therapeutic to escape reality. And I know I read something, I can't remember where I read it, where there's some scientific link to people who play video games in terms of hand-eye coordination, where it's actually a little bit beneficial.
Right.
Yeah, man, I totally disagree with that. And it's no different from any other form of entertainment. It's just something to get lost in.
Yeah, that's what I always kind of thought. I be telling like, because you know how you have females, they trip on their dudes that be gamers all the time. I'm like, well, you gonna let that nigga play them video games and shit for you out in the streets.
That's what I'm saying. I'm tripping on him, but he's right there at the house, sitting at the house playing the game.
I never seen a nigga play a game sad.
Right. That's what I was like, depression. Some of the best moments in my motherfucking life was making Fed throw the controller. Highlights of my life.
Really?
So, my life, I ain't accomplished as much as like an Aries. So shit, when you go on my top 10 and shit, it's like, you know, I got my kids in there and everything. Then round 7 or 8 is you throwing the controller on the 64.
Yeah, right. 5 and 6 is like making Christian cry, playing the game.
Yeah, a lot of my top 10
controller. Yeah.
That's how you know these niggas living good. That shit in they top 10 for Vlad and Aries. Yeah. Yeah.
How about does Cedric, is playing video games a sign of depression for you? You just staring off into space after that. No? You all right? Is he frozen?
You talking about me?
No, Cedric.
Is he frozen? If he is frozen, man, he's doing pretty damn good. That's impressive.
Yeah, that's some good mannequin skill. You pissed him off. He just shut down.
Man, can you answer questions off the cuff like Paul Mooney?
Sure. Yeah. We can do that.
Seeing those people go crazy January 6th, like, what do you think about that?
All them goddamn white folks, that's who they are now. They're like goddamn roaches. They just attack. You got to stomp them niggas out. The goddamn, they're savages, nigga. They've always been the goddamn Capitol, storming the Capitol. If that had been 100 niggas, it'd have been 1,000 bullets.
Hold on, I got one. So what do you think about the reaction to Queen Elizabeth's death?
Niggas don't give a damn about no goddamn Queen Elizabeth. The last white bitch niggas cared about was Betty White, because that bitch was an older girl. Niggas don't even know what a pound is. Niggas hear pound, niggas think you're making a Mickey D's run. Get me a goddamn sandwich with cheese, nigga. Nobody care about no goddamn queen, that old white bitch. Please, that bitch, the queen. The queen of what, nigga? There's only one queen niggas know, and that was Cicely Tyson. That was a real queen. That black bitch. Skin looked good, as tough as leather, nigga. Pussy and lips look like patent leather, nigga. Shiny and tight.
Oh man. Yeah, man, this is really great, man. We appreciate you again.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much for coming through, man.
Yeah, anytime, man. Put the bat signal in the air. You know what it is.
Yeah, man. Yeah, stay up, man. This is good to see you up. And shit, more prosperity and success and everything to you, man. Still hoping you get a Netflix.
Well, we'll see what it do, man. We'll see what it do. I tell you, boy, Cedric, I hope he unfreeze. Is he still frozen?
He gone. Like he
gone.
Damn.
Hey.
Right.
Oh no, another thing.
Talking about throwing that control. He was like, oh
man, that was
I don't play
real
video
shit,
games
though.
anymore. Like you shut him down.
Yeah, we trying to get to that level to where, you know, video games fall out our top 10. That's goals.
Man.
Shit.
Man.
But oh yeah, another thing before you go, are you on tour or do you have any shows coming up? Especially like in the Vegas area?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in California, Brea, California at the Improv this weekend, and then I'm in Hartford, Connecticut at the Funny Bone the following weekend. And then I'm in the Improv in Orlando, Florida at the end of October. So yeah, and if anybody want to see my dates, just go to ariesspears.com or to the podcast, Spears and Steinberg, available on all streaming platforms where we give out the dates at the end of every episode.
For sure.
Okay, yeah, definitely. And salute to you on your podcast. I enjoy it. I actually watch Spears and Steinberg. So yeah.
I prefer people I don't mind if they watch it on YouTube, but I prefer they listen to it because it's just the video version is more of the raw, uncut. You hear me saying things to our producer on how to edit and do certain skits, whereas the listen version is the finished, polished product. And plus, when you really go back and listen from the beginning, you get all the callbacks and all the jokes. If people jump in right now, it's cool. But I feel like to really get the full impact, you got to go back to the beginning and listen in order to see how the characters came about, the jokes and all of that. It's evolved so much. I think you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't start from the beginning.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I'll check it out. Usually I watch it when I'm at home and shit. So
yeah. A lot of people be like, man, y'all had 400 episodes. That's a lot to start from the beginning. But you know,
I'm gonna start putting it in the car then.
Yeah, I say binge, man. It's like masturbation and potato chips. Once you start, you just
I got in at like episode like 2 something, so I can go back.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And it's an easy lesson. I don't think it's that hard to go back because you guys have good chemistry. It's like watching watching two of your good friends chop it up and you just kind of there in the room and shit, just watching. Yeah, so that's why I said, man, it's a good podcast.
Yeah.
And you guys talk about everything.
Brother, thank you very much, man.
Oh man, no doubt. No doubt, man.
All right, fellas, again, love, man.
Oh yeah, man, definitely, always. Yeah, hope to do this again.
No doubt.
No doubt, man. Stay up.
All right, y'all. Be good.
All right. That was cool. I liked it.
That was a little more fun.
A little bit more loose, a little bit more fun. You and him always bumping heads. That's just hilarious.
Man, I'm just like, man, I ain't gonna go into it because these fucking Jordan fanatics and shit are just relentless.
Fanatic, Nas fanatic.
I mean, if he'd have said anything about Nas, I don't know. I just don't like that.
Right. I can't believe he didn't really like the Ripper Strikes Back like that. Like, I feel
that was impressive because I was like, dude, you gonna make me rap this whole goddamn song so y'all can understand. That's why I was just like,
like he didn't hear the rebuttals for everything Cannabis had. Even the first, second, and Born, Vanguard Award. He's like, I got a 4th. Cannabis. He cut off from the empire. Like, man.
Right. And I just, man, I should have went into it, but I just didn't because I was like, man, I'll get to rapping that whole shit. Talk about my first and second and third born, but I got a 4th. Cannabis, but he cut off from the riches of my empire. I'm like the people thought he had to retire without a new cannabis. Yeah, that shit was dope, man. That shit was dope.
Right. It was dope. It was a good one.
Yo, I just listened on YouTube to the Cannabis verse, and then afterwards I listened to the LL verse. Yo, you might be right, son. You might be fucking right. Damn. You might be right.